Welcome to another episode of a Holy Rust Revival. Let's rescue a Jeep. Oh, okay, y'all, we've got a problem. I do have a problem. I really do. Braden and I have been talking about that on the way over here. Okay, Braden, show them what we bought. Okay, it's a 73 CJ5. About to load her up on the trailer and get her home. Okay. All right, Braden, let me have the camera. So here she is, 73, very good body. No major rust. Got a little problem right in there. Swing away tire carrier. New gas tank. Flat tire. Might have a little Bondo in here, not sure. But, y'all, this is what got my attention. V8. Oh, look at there. That would be a 304 AMC. She's been sitting a few years, but the owner has run it on a gas tank and recently has cranked the engine. And what's the beauty of this Jeep is it's completely unmolested. I mean, it is, other than this little bumper guard up here, I can't tell that it's been modified. It looks great. Not that much rust. No lift on it. Stock springs. Stock seat still in it. Somebody's cut the dash, put a radio in. They got a tack in there. That might work. Who knows? Other than that, it is 100% bone stock. Oh, except for, look at here. Skull shifters. Boy, isn't that special. Okay, Braden and I have got to do a little snatch and recovery here and get this beauty up on the trailer. We're hoping, cross our fingers, that it even comes with the kitchen sink, or maybe that's the bathroom sink, and some barbed wire. I do need that on the farm. I hope that stays in here. Okay, Braden and I got to get busy airing a tire up and snatching this thing up on that trailer right there. Okay, hey y'all, we made it to our intermediate spot to my home in Meridian before it heads to the farm shop. But this 73 CJ5 didn't want to leave where it came from. The back axle, rear axle was locked up, but I think it's because transmission issues. I can't get it out of gear. And what happens when these old Jeeps sit up without a top for a long time, they, well, let me spin the camera around and show you. Water will actually go down the gear shift and go into the transmission. And usually this will get rusted up. But if water got into the transmission, probably the shift forks are rusted too. But don't you love the skulls? Isn't that awesome? But you know, what I did to get on the trailer is I had to disconnect the drive shaft there. And the rear axle started turning. And honestly, I think it actually has brakes on it. Look at there. The frame is not rusted through. There's actually still a little bit of paint on that frame. So yeah, it's gonna be a good project. It let me turn the camera back around. There are people that go to the casino and gamble away a whole lot more money than what I spent on this Jeep. And I never really do call myself a gambling man. But this one is a gamble. But I didn't pay a whole lot of money for it. So it's worth the gamble. I really do. Even if the motor's locked up and the transmission's locked up and the transfer case is no good, and I get to put a small block Chevy in this thing, oh, it'll be worth it. Every penny I paid for it. So yeah. Okay, y'all. I'm confessing my sins. I do have a problem. I've got to go find a support group somewhere to help me out. Oh, this is gonna be good. Well, I put that old Seafoam Deep Creep in there last night and let it sit overnight, and look what's happening today. She's shifting gears. Still a little stiff. We're gonna have to work it out. But yeah, that stuff's just good stuff. Good stuff. Gonna have to pop this whole cover off and pop the top of the transmission off and just see how terrible it is down in there. Oh, and here's the other thing. Okay. That's probably not supposed to happen. Okay, it's about 2 days later, and basically we've gotten the Jeep to the shop, and this is where it's been sitting. But I have done one thing, and it's something I always like to do when I bring a motor home that I don't know about. I took the spark plugs out and stuck a funnel in each one of the cylinders and just doused it with Marvel Mystery Oil, and it's been sitting about 2 days. So we'll see. Maybe later on tonight we'll see if we can make something happen. But right now, while I've got some sunshine outside, I got a little cleaning up to do. It's no telling what kind of treasures I may find in here. Look, there's some paint, barbed wire, perfectly good bathroom sink, garden sprayer. I don't know. What else do we have? Oh, slightly used fuel filter. Starting fluid. Oh, that might be good. Doesn't seem to have anything in it. And belt. All right. Let me clean some of this stuff out and let's evaluate our floor pan. What do you think about that retro rack on the back? I like it. Okay, that's pretty empty. Pretty empty. Empty. Well, I'm not getting much out of these paint cans. I'll make a birdhouse top out of that. That'll be good. That's probably not any good. That kind of looks like a Jeep part. We'll set that up there. I think we'll throw those away. All right, what about this sprayer? What about it? Let's just see. I think there's a sprayer. A little leak around the seal, and look at there. Ha! It sprays. We'll keep that. We'll keep that. There's no telling what's in that sprayer. A grade 8 bolt. Look, we're making money just by digging. Keep that fan belt. my word. Look, a whole stack of grade 8 bolts. Goodness sakes alive. It was a whole bag of bolts. We're gonna hit gold, y'all. There's a air connection. I mean, we're hitting it. Grade 8, grade 8, grade 8. So how do you know if it's grade 8? When there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little lines on the head there. It means it's a bolt that can handle higher stress than some of the others. Man, we're just hitting pay dirt here. Probably insignificant. Hose clamp. Extra parts, extra parts. Marlboro. Bolts. All right, let's keep digging. Old hose. Probably throw that away. That bolt can be thrown away. That's a thing for holds the fuel pump sending unit in the gas tank. Or on this Jeep, it would just be the sending unit. There is no pump in the tank, but that Willis over there has a pump in the tank. Wait a minute. Always needing some spare hose. That's pay dirt right there. Pay dirt. Let's get this sinking. No cracks. Solid porcelain. I may use that in the barn I'm about to build. Yes, sir. That's the skid plate for the gas tank underneath. Need that. Yeah, we'll buy a new one of those. Gates, heater hose, 5/8. Yeah, never know, you might need a little of that. Trash, trash, trash. Nice bolt. Trash, trash. Uh-oh, I heard something clunk. Battery clamp can go away. We won't reuse that. Ooh. Boy, that adds horsepowers. I guess that's intended to make a vortex flow. That's what that is. This is a vortex engine. Makes the air go in a certain way. They'll throw that away. Uh-oh, a tool. Look it, look it. Fella can always use a cold chisel. Rock. Okay, trash, trash, trash. Here's a nut we can put in the parts bin. Another bolt. Yeah, I think we can throw that clamp away. All right, y'all. I think we've dug through all the stuff. Let me put you on pause here a second, sweep this out, and let's evaluate the floor pan. Okay, I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. I have started out with Jeeps in much worse condition than this one. Look at how beautiful that tailgate is. I mean, you got to remember, this is a 50-year-old Jeep. It does look like it has been repainted before, but it's almost the same color as what the original looked like. It's not beat up, the hinges work. There is some rust right across here. Probably that cross member that goes across there has gotten some mud and dirt up in it in the past. and moisture has gathered there, but that's not hard to fix. Man, we can easily cut some panels in and weld that stuff in and put a good bed liner in this thing, and she'll be good to go again. I continue to be amazed at what good shape this Jeep and body is in. All right, let's explore what's in the front seats. Okay, seat belt. Is there another side to it? There is. Does it work? Oh, it even says Jeep on it. Boy, isn't that special? That's the original buckles. And they might need a little penetrating oil. The red edition. Brake fluid. DOT3. Wonder if that's a sign. I don't know. Smells good. We'll set it right back there for now. Trash. Plug wire. I think we can trash that. Somebody's worked on the brakes. There's part of a brake wheel cylinder. Another tool. I always need a pair of scissors. Let's keep those. Okay, trash. Hair clipping? Yeah, you need that when you're riding a topless Jeep. Somebody sure liked the Marlboro Rose. Okay. I think that's all the goodies. Oh, that's part of the tie strap. Glad I didn't cut my hand on that. Antifreeze jug. Oh, you see how that's cracked open? When I was putting it on the trailer, this thing had fallen over and broken and was leaking antifreeze on me underneath, and I thought it was in the muffler, and I was real worried there for a minute, but it was just that jug. Let's see. Engine degreaser. Whoop! Hey! It's a full can too. Nice. Oh, I think we've even got a top for it. That's just like it came from the O'Reillys or something. All right, what do we got? Hose clamp, we'll keep that. Now, one of the worst places on these old Jeeps to rust is inside this toolbox. Because, I mean, water just gets in there and it can't get out. And I wouldn't be surprised if we're looking at the ground in here. Let's see, I hope something doesn't jump out. Okay. Let me see if I can get the seat kind of sitting on that. No animals. And yes, it is wet. You see how wet that is? But I don't see the ground. That's what's so amazing to me. That water has sat in here for so long, and there's no holes going all the way through. My word. That just doesn't make sense to me. I don't see the ground, but it is muddy wet in there. Let me take a moment to clean all this out and bring you back in here a little bit. Door shuts good. Hinges work okay. I don't know, y'all. That's pretty amazing. I don't think we need that seal anymore. I don't think it's sealing real well. I mean, it shuts beautifully. Okay. let me get some of this other stuff out of here so we can see the floor pan better. Okay, let's do a little evaluating. I can stick my fingers almost through some holes right here. If I wasn't scared of tetanus, I'd go ahead and poke them all the way through. But it's a little weak right there, right there. That looks like an original groove. Now to explain this inside this toolbox, I'm sorry, that magnet on my thing keeps grabbing. This has been replaced. It looks like a very thick piece of metal. Started right here and went all the way over and has come all the way over to the side, which encompassed the bottom side of that toolbox. And I'm not upset about it. I can tell where somebody has welded down the edge of that toolbox. They did a good job. I mean, I have to say, it's not a terrible fix. It's really, really thick sheet metal. So it'll take a long time for that to actually rust through, which can explain why that is still in such good shape there, because I scraped off a whole lot of flaky rust. And it comes in and ties into the side panel, which explains a lot of this Bondo that's in the side here. But still, it doesn't, somebody did a good job, I just have to say. I might think different when I dig into it further and later. On this side, you can see we have the same issue in the same part right there. So we're gonna fix that. That's no problem. That's just flat, good old flat sheet metal. And usually these things rust out really bad right here in these corners, but that's still solid. I can't tell where it's weak in there at all. I can still see the original seam right there, and it looks fine. Again, this is a good Jeep. This is a good Jeep. I'm not upset about it at all. So I may have told you that the gear shift was frozen up when we went to pick it up, and I put penetrating oil in there and it is moving now, but I'm afraid that over time and years, water has gone down and gone into the transmission itself. So I think even before I turn the engine over, I want to evaluate what the inside of this transmission looks like and continue to let the penetrating oil get into the engine a little bit more. Okay, come on, my sweet beauty. Let's run again. Let's run. We want to run. We want to have some good times together, good memories. Okay. Look at this spare tire. Desert Dog. Formula. Look at the tread. That's a brand new tire. That tire's got 30,000 miles left in it. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. But strangely enough, it seems to be holding air at the moment. You know what? I've got my inspiration for this Jeep. This is the most bone stock, unmolested Jeep I think anybody will ever find. We're gonna keep it that way. We're gonna get that motor V8 running flawlessly. We're gonna put some nice, aggressive little mud tires on it, maybe 31s. Fix this thing up, and we're gonna leave it bone stock original. Man, yes, that's what we're going to do. That's gonna be I'm not gonna get crazy fixing it up. We're gonna stop the rust. We're gonna fix a lot of this, put a bed liner in it, get all the little quirky stuff fixed, and we're just gonna enjoy it. This is gonna be a fun Jeep. one that you just enjoy, not worry about. We can run through the creek. We can, I don't know, go through the pine limbs, not worry about it. We're just gonna have fun in this Jeep. Fun Jeep. Maybe that's what the name of it's gonna be. Hey, y'all, I've learned over time just to be patient. I'm bursting at the seams to get in there on that motor and just get after it and see if it'll crank up. But I suspect that the transmission is a little locked up because our rear axle was locked up and I had to take the drive shaft out to get it on the trailer. So I really, before I cause any damage here by cranking on the engine, I just want to peek inside this transmission first. I took all of this inspection cover off. That's what I love about Jeeps. It's just so easy to get to everything. All right, give me a minute. I'm gonna pop these bolts and I'll let you be the first to peek in and see if my suspicion is true that a lot of water has come down this and gone into the transmission. Also, if you wondered why I'm so bundled up, it's supposed to get down to 16 degrees tonight in Mississippi. And that's just not normal for Mississippi folk. My nose is running and it's just gonna be cold, but we're gonna have a shop night. We're gonna do some evaluating before we go to bed tonight. That's the reverse switch. Yep. Let's make sure we take care of those. That's what cuts the reverse lights on. All right, I'm gonna cut the camera, finish this up, and I'm gonna put you up here and let you be the first glimpse down into this thing. Let's just see how nasty the inside of this transmission looks. Okay, are you ready? Let's see what kind of surprise we get. Okay. This should come straight up. Oh, yeah. Okay. My suspicion is a little true. Look at how nasty that is. Oop. Yep. So there's a great deal of rust on the gears. I don't like the way that bearing. Let me get you in here a little bit closer. Ooh, yep, it hadn't turned in a while. As you can tell, it's been sitting up a long, long time with a lot of moisture in there. You can look down in there and see the oil or the liquid. Okay. I had a suspicion that one of the gears wasn't working very well. And I don't remember which one it was. Probably this one. There's probably corrosion underneath where the shift forks go in, and the synchros are probably all corroded. Main shaft has a lot of rust on the back side. I'm not real sure what to do here, y'all, other than probably just get a wire brush in here and get a diesel in a spray jug, spray can, and just start cleaning this thing out, because it can't stay that way. But see that water drip through this shaft right down through here, and you can see where the water's actually been dripping right off of that right there. So all of this has got to be cleaned up. If we're going to be throwing V8 power to this old bad boy, it's got to be cleaned up. And I hope that bearings are still good. I really do hope that. Okay, all right, let me scratch my head a minute. It might seem like it's worse than it actually is. So this is the shift forks, shift lever. So it's basically the whole thing turned upside down. I put some penetrating oil in these holes. Those are actually oiling holes, so that when the oil splashes up from the transmission, it oils all this really well. These are oiling holes as well. And there's a detent ball in here. And I'll show you about what I mean. You know when you shake the lever and it's in neutral, that's neutral, okay? So we go to one side, go up, down, neutral, over the other way, up, down. So this is a 3-speed transmission with reverse. So there's 4 gears. And it sounds like those detent balls in there are working just fine. And what that is little balls that run in those grooves, and it's on a spring, and it helps hold it in gear. Okay, do you see those grooves? So a lot of times when these old transmissions pop out of gear, it's because that little detent ball has gone bad, or the spring in there has as well. So really, honestly, all this is working fine. So I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go over there and drain, get underneath and drain the plug and see how much water falls out on us. Okay, folks, I am underneath, stretching as far as I can to get on top of this skid plate, which I'm very thankful this Jeep has a skid plate, but it's making it very hard to get to the drain plug on the transmission. And look, I struggle to get this thing cracked open. Excuse me. So I haven't opened it yet. We're about to see what comes out of this thing together, and I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of nasty looking water and a lot of gunk that comes out of this thing. And excuse me, I do have a drain pan, but we're going to make a mess. Are you ready? What's going to come out? Oh, look at there. I already see water. Excuse me, y'all. This cold weather's got my throat all messed up. Look how much water is in this thing. It might be all water. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Now, aren't you glad that I checked this before I got crazy cranking and running this thing? Excuse me. Man, look how much water's coming out. I'm surprised it hadn't frozen and cracked. Oh my goodness. I don't think there's any oil in it. Well, no oil, all water. Isn't that something? Okay. Yep, it's a very good thing I checked this out. Now I'm not sure where to go now. I think I'm gonna start doing a little. My goodness, I'm so sorry. I may get up on top and see what I need to do to spray some diesel in there, penetrating oil, transmission fluid. We got to get all this gunk out and put some fresh oil in it. All right, so what I've done is I've just taken this little brush and gotten in here and gotten as much of that surface rust off as I could. Got really down in those, between those synchronizers. And it's shaping up good. I mean, everything, synchronizers seem to be loose. We're not done yet. I'll show you some other tricks that I have to make sure things are free, but I'm just trying to get surface rust off at this point. And I have this little garden sprayer with gasoline. Pump it up a little bit. This will just help cut everything between those gears. Get all that rust off that I've been scraping. And I can get my wand back down in here and get a lot of that junk out of the hole down there at the bottom. Oh, that's looking so much better already. Have I told you that I was glad that we opened this up and looked? I felt it in my bones that this was not going to be a good situation, and I was right. We might have saved ourselves a good bit of heartache in the future. Because you know, if I'd have gotten this V8 running, I would have wanted to try it out. You know, stepped on the skinny pedal and popped the clutch a little bit. And if all of that water had been in this transmission, that would have just not been good. I'm going to replace this gasoline with some WD-40 that I've got in a gallon jug over here and really start coating it down. You know what WD stands for, right? Water displacement. So what a better situation to put water displacement than in a transmission that has had water in it, right? Okay. So basically it's going to look just like this, but I'm going to spray a lot of WD in here. Loosen things up, see if we can turn the gears a little bit, put our top back on, fill it up with oil, and just be happy. That's all we need, just be happy. Don't worry, be happy now. I don't sing. All right, y'all, I got it pretty clean. Now I'm gonna throw some gear oil in it before I put the top back on. It'll just be so much easier to do it this way. You know what? Dadgummit. I forgot to put the plug back in. That's not going to do a lot of good. Stupid numbskull. Excuse me. Let me put the plug in and I'll be right back with you. Okay, y'all, let's try this one more time. But let me show you something before I get my other hand full. Do you see that plug right there? That's the plug on the side where you're supposed to fill the oil up to. So I'm going to do my best to pour in here until I see it get to that level right there. Oh, it's going to like that so much more. So much more than that old nasty water that was in there. That's what gears are supposed to have on them. Not that old water. Oh yeah, it's saying thank you already. You hear it? Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know if this is what I should have done, but I dumped some Berryman Chem Tool fuel injector cleaner in there with it. It's supposed to clean all manner of things. And I figure we'll run this for a while and then we'll need to change all that out to continue to get that milky stuff out, because I'm sure I didn't get all the water out and all the other contaminants. So that injector cleaner will do its magic in there for a little bit, and then we'll just have to remember to change it after a while and just keep changing the fluid until it continues to get clearer and clearer. Okay, now I'm gonna put a little RTV silicone on this and put the top back on, and we're gonna move on to other things. Well, I got the lid back on, and I feel so much better about this now. It actually shifts very easily into all four gears. Look at there, it wouldn't even shift into second before. So I feel so much better about this situation. Everything seems to be free. And Mr. Skull is happy. Good boy. I might ought to take that off. That might be why this transmission was in the shape it was in. It's got a voodoo curse on it or something. Jump in on the motor now, y'all. 24 hours ago, I pulled all the plugs. You can see them sitting right here. You can see they're all missing. And what I did is I basically took Marble Mystery Oil and poured down in every one of the cylinders, and I just let it sit for 24 hours. So I have got this handy dandy little remote starter button connected from the positive side of the battery to the switch key side of the solenoid, and I hope that we're about to see a mess. That's what I really hope. Watch those spark plug holes, and let's see how much oil we blow out that I put in there last night. Okay, this is the first time this engine has turned over in I don't know how long. I really don't. The previous owner said 8 months, but by looking at that transmission and various other things, I don't think this thing has moved in a while. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. But she's turning over pretty smoothly, I have to say. Wow, I like the way that sounds. I've got oil all over my battery now. It has coated it down well, but that's all right. Everything needs a little coat of oil every now and then. Let's do that some more. Okay. You know, I don't know. It depends on the compression, and it seems like we got some compression blowing out of some holes. I'm almost a good mind at this point to do a compression check on this engine while I've got all the spark plugs out. That's what I'm going to do. Let's do a compression check and write the compression numbers up here on the hood and see what they look like. Nice. All right, here's our moment of truth to see whether this engine is any good or not. We've got to have compression, we've got to have fire, and we've got to have fuel. So compression, it needs to be 120, between 90 and 120 to be a runner. So I've got it in plug number 1, and I'm about to hit the button, and let's see what happens. Nothing. Oh, there it goes. Son! Wow. That's 160, 170. Goodness sakes alive. Wow. Let's hope all the rest of them are that good. Goodness sakes alive. Second cylinder. Okay, it's a little weaker than the first one. Okay, third cylinder. Okay, fourth cylinder. Okay, I've skipped over to the other side of the engine, and this is our fifth cylinder to check. Sixth cylinder to test. Man, this is a good engine, y'all. All right, this is the seventh one, and y'all, I'm gonna admit I'm scared of this one. When I pulled the spark plug out of this hole, it had water on it and had gunk. And I'm afraid they left that air breather off for a long time and water got down in the engine. So please cross your fingers. Oh, this is gonna be a make or break moment right here. Uh-oh. Oh, man. 60. Oh, got it. That's what I was afraid of, y'all. Oh, no. One cylinder could cause this whole motor to be bad. But you know what? It is possible that we could get this thing running, warm those rings up, and I don't know. They might be stuck a little bit. And warming it up, heating it up through a few cycles might bring that up. So let's cross our fingers there. All right, let's get the last cylinder. Okay, this is our final cylinder. All right, that one's a little weaker than some of the rest too. So we're looking at about, I don't know, 100 on that one. It's possible that, there's our numbers. Perfect engine on this side. Perfect until we get to there. Those last two. Oh man, started out so good. But don't ever, never, ever leave your air breather off when you're storing a vehicle up. Water has splashed down from there and gotten into this carburetor, and the engine sits at a slant, and that water went downhill, and that seemed to be the, well, you know what? I remember now, both of these tires were flat, so the Jeep was actually leaning over this way, so when the water went in, it went down and came on over to this side, to the back. Oh, doggone. Maybe running it will clear it up. But I have something else I want to try, a new toy that I got for Christmas. Let me be right back. All right, so I got this endoscope for Christmas. So basically it's a camera on the end of the little wire. And I am now down in the cylinder looking around. And yes, you can tell. Let's go back in. You can tell right up here at the very top. Look at the bottom of the screen there. You can tell it's set in some mucky stuff, but the cylinder walls down below that don't look bad. I see some silver shiny cylinder walls. So it may not be a hopeless cause. Let's pull out and look at one that was really good on compression. Let's look at this second one from the front. Okay, let me move. That's kind of cool to be able to see a piston go up and down, right? Cylinder walls look good there. What's going on the other side? I don't know. I think that's the valve. Maybe I'm seeing the valve down. Let's pull the very back one that was 100 and see what it looks like. Okay, I'm going in that last hole. This one doesn't look as good, y'all. It looks like maybe the piston was down. There's a lot of gunk up there on the top of that. I don't know if that's going to clean up or not. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. Might be problematic in the future. Man, I hate it. But you can see right there where the rings were sitting, and the water was on top of the piston up here. So down below it doesn't look bad, but man, those rings are probably stuck because they've had water, and that's the same way with the next cylinder. Water was sitting in there and stuck those rings. So we'll do the best we can to clean that up, but I think it's a moment now where we need to put spark plugs back in and maybe see if we get some spark. What you think? Let's try it. Well, got all the spark plugs back in, and the next thing I want to do is cut the key on and see if I've got fire on the coil. If we have fire on the coil, there's a potential that we might have fire in our distributor and spark plugs, and I think this engine has points in the distributor, but I'm not even going to pull it off. We're just going to try it, okay? Let me cut the switch key on and see if we've got a hot 12 volts on our coil. All right, this is just a simple test light. I've got it hooked up on the ground over here. This is our coil. Yep, we've got 12 volts on our coil, so the potential for spark on the old spark plugs is there. So let me get this out of the way. All right, come on, let go. What I've got here is some of my chainsaw gas, and I'm going to pour a little bit down the throat. All right, probably too much. The reason I use that chainsaw gas is it's got oil in it, and it continues to give it a little bit of lubrication as well as some gas in it for fire. Okay, folks, here we go. Moment of truth. First time this motor's been cranked in I don't know how long. I honestly don't know. And by the looks of it, it's been a while. If there's water leaking into it and the transmission, the shape that it was in. All right, let's give it a shot. Come on, cross your fingers. Okay. This is a big old motor. And we've got a lot of oil in the cylinders. I tell you what, I am going to shoot a little ether in there to give it a little more explosive starting fluid, rather. It is possible with all the oil that I put in there, as well as the gas oil, that we might have fouled the plugs up, or come on. I mean, it's not even wanting to hit, is it? Looks like I may have to take the distributor cap off. Anyway. Okay, it should have fired, or at least coughed. There's a very good chance, if this has points, as long as it has been setting up, it is possible the points are corroded really bad. And let's take the rotor button off and see what happens, what we have underneath. Okay, centrifugal weights. I actually found my points file, and I have stuck it between the 2 points, and I am running it back and forth just a little bit. Can you see what's going on there? I believe I already see corrosion. Let's see, can Look, yeah, you can see the corrosion on the end of my file. You see that? So that's what was blocking the spark between the 2 points that ignites the coil that sends the spark to the sparkulators down there. All right, let me clean this file off and get back in there and do some more cleaning. I'll be back with you in just a moment. Okay, let me try to do something the best I can with one hand and looking through a camera. But watch these points right here and see if you see a spark. Well, come on. Come on. Oop. There it goes. Yeah, it's still my screwdriver. I want to see it between the points. I'm seeing it everywhere else except between in the points. Y'all, I think I need to file just a little bit more. I'm not real happy with what I'm seeing here. All right, let me file some more and I'll come back. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna crank the engine and I want you to look real closely between those points. Let me cut the light off so maybe you can see better. Oh, did y'all see that? Okay, I think we're gonna get spark now. All right, let me put all this back together. Are you ready to try it again? I feel pretty confident we're going to spark this time. We may still have fuel in there, so let's give it a shot without adding anything. Yeah. Let's put a little convincing juice down the throat. Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all, this is a big old motor. Needs a little more juice. Hey, she lives again. Let's put a little bit better juice down her. Okay, come on. That wasn't too bad. It wasn't bad. I can tell it's shaking from maybe missing on a cylinder or two. But she just hadn't woke up yet. Let's put a little more juice down the throat. Nice. Yeah, let's give it a lot. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was a pretty sound. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's running. It's running. Yeah. Where'd you go? Did you get scared or something? No, that's this crazy new tripod thing I got for Christmas. But hey, y'all, she breathes life again. Isn't that awesome? You know what? It's below freezing. Can you tell? I don't know how much longer Feller can stand it tonight, but I'm going to tinker a little bit more and see if I can get it running a little bit longer. And we'll see where to go from here, okay? Hey, not bad for a night's work to get a Jeep breathing and running again that has not run for a long time. Good job. Y'all did good. Very good. This is probably not the best idea I had tonight, but I've got a mason jar down there with fuel. What's wrong, sweetie? You don't like that smell of gas in your nostrils? Hey, but just wait, we're about to crank a Jeep. Another Jeep you can ride in. What do you think about that, huh? You like riding in Jeeps, don't you? All right, enough of that. Okay, fuel pump is working and carburetor's working. Let's fire up. Let's hear it run for a little while. I put antifreeze water in the radiator. I don't see any leaks yet, but it was pretty empty. Let's see what happens here. Sneaky suspicion that doesn't work. I hope that doesn't work. What is this down here? Is that an oil pressure gauge? I don't know. It is a... Yeah, that's I don't think either one of those gauges work. Anyhow, we're just gonna assume the amp gauge works because it actually came up. See that? Ticking on this side, but it's clearing up. It's clearing up. That's a better idle. You know, she's idling nice. I don't know, y'all. I think that old motor just needs to run a little bit. Man, yeah. Wow. Burning off all that mystery oil. I don't know. She sounds. I wonder if it'll actually go in gear. Ah, let's see. Let's see what's going to happen. Uh-oh. Clutch isn't working. Ooh. I sure am glad it went dead. Let's try that again. Oh, hey, there it goes. Clutch is working. Reverse. You're not gonna believe this. This Jeep's got brakes. I'll be doggone. I'll tell y'all what, we're gonna be riding around in a Jeep tomorrow. That thing runs good. Uh-oh, I jinxed myself. Ah, it's probably out of gas. Let's go see. I sure would like a temp gauge. Man, yeah, I would like a temp gauge. Yeah. We might have run out of fuel. There's a little bit in that jar there, but it has sucked it on down for sure. Will it crank again? Huh. You know, it just shut off like it had an electrical cut off. But let's see, let me put a little bit of that in there. If that cranks it back up, that means we got a fuel issue. Huh. That's interesting. It's almost like the switch key just cut off. Well, okay. Well, look. We got to see a Jeep move. I think I need to just put this battery on a charger. I need to go wash my hands and get a good night's rest tonight so we can play a little bit tomorrow. Got a lot of work to do on the farm, but we might have the opportunity to ride around in this thing tomorrow. Wouldn't that be cool? Hey, good night, y'all. Hey, Tristan. Come on down to the farm and let you and Uncle Rob go for a ride in one of these Jeeps, okay? Hey, buddy, I love you. Well, y'all, she runs pretty good. She's not perfect, but for less than $2,000 in about 12 hours worth of time, this forgotten old Jeep has turned into something running. I mean, it runs. It runs. It's not perfect. It's got a lot of vacuum leaks. The carburetor's got all kind of junk in it. There's issues. I hear grinding coming from the transmission. But the good thing is it's a V8. It runs strong. There's a lot of tinkering yet to be done on this old Jeep. but I'm pleased, and I think it was a purchase well made in the long run. And body-wise, it's solid, so you know it's going to be fine. It's going to be a good Jeep. We're just going to have a lot of fun in this old thing. There's nothing more fun than a Jeep with a V8 engine. 1975 CJ5 with a 304 V8. Whew. When I get her running perfectly, she's going to be a beast. Man, that'll put a smile on your face. That's a whole lot of fun on four wheels. Man, you know, you gotta understand the year in which this Jeep was made. 1973. It was right there toward the end of the muscle car era, and AMC had just bought the Jeep brand name, and they were wanting to get into the little muscle car, you know, arena themselves, and they started putting V8 engines in these little bitty Jeeps. Oh my goodness, they are a handful. Wow, it's dangerous. It really is, but so much fun. I see a lot of smoke coming out from under the hood. I've been running her kind of hard. Let me check her out. It's all good. It's just residual oil on the manifolds burning off. Thank you so much for watching another episode of A Holy Rust Revival. I hope you enjoyed the content and got something out of it. Stay tuned. We'll probably see more about this old 1973 50-year-old Jeep CJ5.